It's been alleged that a 46-year-old Houston man has held his disabled wife in their $1 million home in Clear Lake for 5 years, where he not only confined her to a bedroom, but also physically abused her.
Hi, I'm Nikki Lynn, and welcome to Nikki Lynn Investigates, where I break down true crime cases, past and present, provide you with updates on cases that shook our communities to its core. Follow along as we delve into current events, breaking news, and criminal trials with facts, context, and clarity, all while applying legal principles. Are you ready to take a closer look?
This video may contain copyrighted material. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allows for fair uses for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. This video is intended for educational, entertainment, and commentary purposes. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute.
46-year-old James Earl Johnson works full-time as a master electrician. He reportedly earns about $18,000 per month. He purchased this $1 million 5-bedroom, 8-bathroom home on Crown Ridge Court in Clear Lake in 2015 and has lived there with his wife and children for at least 6 years, according to property records. For 5 of those 6 years, he has held his disabled wife confined to a bedroom where she was fed 1 egg a day. The wife, who is not being named, did not have access to a phone, regular or consistent meals, or adequate medical care, according to investigators. Not only was she left just 1 egg a day, but it was only on occasion that she would be fed dinner. The victim was finally rescued on Friday, March the 6th, when Johnson was arrested. The details of that day included Johnson mistakenly leaving his cell phone on the nightstand, giving his wife the opportunity to call 911. However, Johnson returned and abruptly ended the call. Allegedly, he slapped his wife and then carried her back to bed before hanging up on the dispatcher. Johnson was arrested that Friday morning and faces 2 felony charges of abandoning or endangering a disabled individual, child, or elderly individual, and causing injury to a disabled individual. He was released on $50,000 bond.
Police say a man held his wife captive for 5 years inside their $1 million home in Clear Lake.
It went undetected until last week, even though we've learned police responded to the house late last year. ABC 13's Luke Jones live at police headquarters. And Luke, this is a bit of an unusual one.
Yeah, talk about unusual. She was held captive for 5 years, and neighbors were learning about it from us today. Now, we spoke briefly with the victim's adult son, who tells us his mom's now in the hospital. He didn't elaborate on her condition, but we know from court records she is disabled. From the outside looking in, what some might consider a dream home. But police say for one woman, the house at Crown Ridge Court was in fact a house of horrors. Investigators say the 46-year-old woman who's disabled was allegedly held captive in a bedroom for 5 years by her own husband.
James Johnson?
James Earl Johnson, arrested Friday morning, but has since bonded out of jail with an order to stay away from the victim and the house, where the couple's children also reside. It's here, court documents say, the victim was held under lock and key with no phone access. Finally, Friday, police say her husband left a phone on the nightstand, which he used to call 911. But police say Johnson cut the call short, slapping his wife and carrying her back to bed, then hanging up on the 911 dispatcher.
You've got a woman who's being held captive, and that is a pure form of coercive control, which is a form of abuse.
Chow Win is a trauma therapist. While police haven't specified what the victim's disability was, Win says it likely left her more vulnerable.
People might think it's easy to just leave, but if you're suffering from some sort of disability, the chances are greater that you can't leave.
She appears to have made at least one previous attempt. November 16th, Houston police say she called them out to the house, but when officers got here, they say the victim told them she and her children were told to stay quiet and not to say anything. Officers left without taking a report.
And over time, there's fear, there's dependence. Sometimes there's even a trauma bond between the victim and the abuser.
Per the victim's adult son, she has been hospitalized as recently as Monday, but he did not elaborate on the nature of her condition or her disability. It's also unclear if her adult son was aware of her alleged abuse or the fact that she was being held captive for the last 5 years. Per the news report, the neighbors state they did not know. It appears the victim tried to alert authorities last November but was unsuccessful because she and the children were informed to remain quiet when the police arrived. The officers left without taking a report that day. No information has been provided on the condition of the children or if they faced any abuse, although nothing in the charging documents seemed to suggest the children were harmed in any way. However, court records do show the victim previously filed cases against Johnson in family court in 2001 and 2002 seeking child support, but the outcome has been sealed. Per court records, Johnson has been ordered to stay away from the victim and their 6,783 square foot home on Crown Ridge Court. Johnson is facing up to 20 years and is scheduled to appear back in Harris County Court on March 18th.
This has been another episode of Nikki Lynn Investigates. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click here for more episodes like this.